Miss Hines. Welcome to Remote Drama. I'm wearing my red shirt today because we are going to act out the story of the Little Red Riding Hood today. I wish I had one with a hood. You'll just have to imagine that I have a hood. But I'm wearing red so we can act out Little Red Riding Hood. So let's take out our regular eyes first. Put them in your pocket. Take out your drama eyes. Blow them off. Put them in with a bing. Bing, bing. Find your zipper for your space bubble. It's stuck again. Spray some spray. It goes super fast. Zip. How about the front one? Stuck again. Spray the spray. Uh-oh. Goes super fast. Zip. All right. We're in our space bubble and we say, on the double. My space bubble. Good. Remember, that's your own acting space. So don't get in the acting space of anyone else around you. If you're sitting up on the carpet or if you're sitting at a table or your desk, make sure that you have your own acting space to use. All right, show me how we don't want to be in drama. We don't want to be all sloppy, 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 do we? No, we want to be in audience mode. Let's do that again. Sloppy, sloppy, sloppy. Audience mode. All right, great. Well, we're going to warm up our actor tools first. So to warm up our bodies, we're going to play a drama game called Grandma's Sleeping. So I'm going to pretend to be Grandma, and when I'm sleeping, I'm going to have on my sleep mask like this. And when I wake up, you are going to freeze and make yourself into a tree. So you might be like a pine tree, you might be a tree like this. And then when I go back again sleeping, then you can move, okay? So let's first pretend that we are a tree. So wherever you are, stand up and become a tree. And make sure I have my grandma's sleeping mask on. All right, let's pretend that we are in the forest and we are going through the river and we're gonna swim. So I want you to swim. Maybe we're doing breaststroke. Maybe we're doing some freestyle. But however you want to swim, maybe you need to plug your nose. Everybody be swimming through the forest as Grandma is sleeping. All right, now when Grandma wakes up, when I take my mask off and I wake up, you are going to stop swimming. You're going to freeze into a tree. Don't let her catch you. All right. Oh, it's time to wake up. Oh, well, I thought I heard something out here disturbing my sleep, but all I see are trees. I better go back to sleep. So Grandma goes back to sleep. Let's pretend that we get out of the river. We shake off. And we're gonna hop through the forest on one leg. So hop on one leg. Okay, Grandma's sleeping. Don't let her catch you. Keep hopping. You can switch legs if you need to. And when Grandma wakes up, freeze like a tree. I hear something out there in the forest. What is it? Oh, be a tree. Don't let her catch you. I just see trees in the forest. I must be hearing things. All right, Grandma's gonna go back to sleep. Now, let's run. Now, when we run, we're gonna run in place. We're not gonna really run around the room. So we're running in place and Grandma's sleeping. Oh no, she's snoring. Keep running in place. Oh, something is disturbing my sleep. Turn into a tree. Oh, I thought I heard somebody running, but now all I see are these trees. I really need to get my beauty rest. Good night. All right, so now let's pretend that we are butterflies. We're gonna fly like butterflies. Grandma's sleeping. And Grandma wakes up, turn to a tree. What is that noise? I don't know, I just can't seem to get any sleep. Maybe I'll just do my knitting. So you won. Grandma didn't catch you. If we were playing this in real life and I was Grandma and I saw someone moving, I might be able to catch you. But since we're playing online, even if you were moving a little bit, you got away with it today for our warm-up of Grandma's sleeping game. And that's a fun game that you can play outside at recess, at your house, wherever. You just need someone to be Grandma. If you don't have a sleep mask, you can just cover your eyes like this, and you can play that too. So that's a fun drama game to play. All right, so to warm up our voices today, there are 3 phrases that are said in Little Red Riding Hood a lot. So the first one is, "Oh, what big eyes you have." Repeat after me until I say stop. Oh, what big eyes you have. Again. Oh, what big eyes you have. Now let's try it. Shy. Oh, what big eyes you have. Now let's try it. Laughing. Oh, what big eyes you have. Now let's try it. Baby style. Oh, what big eyes you have. The second phrase is, "Oh, what big ears you have." Repeat after me until I say stop. Oh, what big ears you have. Again. Oh, what big ears you have. Now let's try it. Mad. Oh, what big ears you have. Now let's try it. Quiet. Oh, what big ears you have. Now let's try it. Silly. Oh, what big ears you have. The third phrase is, "Oh, what big teeth you have." Repeat after me until I say stop. Oh, what big teeth you have. Again. Oh, what big teeth you have. Now let's try it. Scared. Oh, what big teeth you have. Now let's try it. Confused. Oh, what big teeth you have. Now let's try it with the hiccups. Oh, what big teeth you have. Excuse me, that made me cough a little bit. And stop. All right, so when we're acting out the story, listen for those phrases. Oh, what big eyes you have. Oh, what big ears you have. And oh, what big teeth you have. All right, so to warm up our imaginations, I forgot to bring it over here. Let me go get it. We are going to pretend that this is Little Red Riding Hood's lunchbox. So I thought that it was a good one for Little Red Riding Hood because it's red. It's actually a strawberry lunchbox. So I'm going to pretend that it is something other than a lunchbox. So maybe it could be my hat. Maybe it could be a big talking monster.
Hello, I'm the talking strawberry monster.
Maybe it could be a hand warmer, a big mitten. Now take a look at it, and I want you to think, if you had this strawberry lunchbox, what could you turn it into? On the count of 3, I want you to say out loud what you would turn this into. Use your imagination. 1, 2, 3. Did anybody make it a necklace? It's too big for me. I bet it would fit around your neck. It could be a big strawberry necklace. Did anyone make it into a shoe? Did anybody make it into a bowl? This is a fun game that you can do. You don't have to have a strawberry lunchbox to play this game. You could play with your own lunchbox. You could play with a bowl. You could play with a scarf or a mitten. I could have even played it with Grandma's blindfold. But that definitely warmed up my imagination today, and I am going to need my imagination as we are acting out the story of Little Red Riding Hood, or we can call her Little Red for short. So, to start our story, we are going to imagine that we have an apron. Okay, put your apron on, and we're going to make Grandma a lunch because Grandma's not feeling well. And I have my lunchbox here. You just pretend that you have a lunchbox. And let's make her a sandwich. I'm going to make peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You can make Grandma whatever kind of sandwich you want. Just use bread. You can put meat on it. You could put cheese, vegetables, whatever you want. I just made peanut butter and jelly. I'm going to cut it so it's easy for Grandma to eat, and put it in a little baggie for her and put it in my lunchbox. Well, since Grandma's not feeling well, she might really like some chicken noodle soup. I'm going to pretend I have a thermos, and I already made my soup. I'm going to pour it into my thermos and put the lid on tight so it doesn't leak, and put it into Grandma's lunchbox. Grandma might like some crackers too. So I'm going to take crackers into a little baggie and put it in there. And when I'm not feeling well, I always like to drink ginger ale. So pretend I have a bottle of ginger ale, and I'm ready with my lunchbox. Pack up your pretend lunchbox too, and when you're ready, you can put it on your arm or your shoulder. I'm going to put down the real lunchbox and just pretend that I have one on my shoulder for the story. All right, now, you are going to go into the forest, and you are going to go visit your grandmother who lives in the forest pretty far away from your house. And your mother is a little bit worried. And your mother says, there are 2 rules. All right, so let's hear what the 2 rules are. The first rule is, stay on the path. Say that with me. Stay on the path. Now, let's try saying that same thing kind of squeaky. Pretend Mom has a squeaky voice. Stay on the path. I don't know. Mom might have a real low voice. Let's try it with a low voice. Stay on the path. I think, like I said, Mom's a little worried. So let's try it with a worried voice. Stay on the path. Let's try it fast. Stay on the path. Let's slow it down. Slow. Stay on the path. All right. Now I said she had 2 rules. Her first one was stay on the path. Her second rule is, you might have heard this from your own mom or somebody who takes care of you, and it is, don't talk to strangers. Say that again. Don't talk to strangers. Let's try that with a high voice. Don't talk to strangers. Let's try it with a low voice.
Don't talk to strangers.
A worried voice. Don't talk to strangers. Fast. Don't talk to strangers. And slow. Don't talk to strangers. All right, so the first rule was stay on the path. The second rule was don't talk to strangers. All right, let's hope Little Red Riding Hood remembers those 2 rules. I don't think she does. If you know this story, you know she doesn't. But Little Red Riding Hood agrees to the rules. She takes her lunch basket and she puts her red hood on. I wish I had a red hoodie. That would be fun. If you have a red hoodie at your house, it's really good to act out this story while wearing a red hoodie, or a red jacket. Anyway, this is the best I could do when I was getting dressed this morning, was a red sweater. I wish I had one with a hood. So she puts her hood on and she starts to walk down the forest. So stand up if you're sitting and just walk in place in the forest. She wants to get there a little bit faster, so she starts to skip. So skip in place, don't run around the room. And she still wants to get there faster, so let's run. Whoa, whoa, stop. While she's running, she sees some animals. So it makes her stop. She stays on the path, but she sees some birds. Can you make some bird noises? Tweet, tweet, or caw, caw, whatever kind of bird. Flap your wings as a bird. She sees a deer. Oh, the deer ran away real fast. And she sees a beautiful butterfly. Can you be a butterfly? Well, next, she sees some beautiful flowers. She sniffs the flowers. She picks a few, puts them into her lunch basket for Grandma, and then she spies it. Off the path, she sees the most beautiful flower she's ever seen in her whole life. It is so pretty. What color is it? You decide. And does it have petals? How many? Oh, yes. And does it have a stem? How long is the stem? How big is the flower? Show me with your hands. Well, it's so beautiful that she remembers her mother said stay on the path, but she thinks it's not too far off the path. I'll just go a little bit off the path to see that flower. So she does. She breaks the rule. She tiptoes off of the path and goes over to the flower and starts to sniff it and admire it. And all of a sudden, there's somebody behind her. Do you know who it is? It's the wolf. Well, I'm going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3. And when I count to 3, I want you to turn around. And when you turn around, instead of being Little Red, you are going to be the wolf. Now the wolf is going to have claws. Let me see your claws. Good. The wolf has his nose up in the air. Put your nose up in the air. And the wolf shows his mean teeth. Okay, great. Okay, so we're a Little Red Riding Hood. We're looking at the flower. We're smelling it. Maybe we're cutting it or picking it. In 1, get ready to turn into the wolf. And 2, and 3, turn around. And be the wolf. Whoa, you are so scary as the wolf. And the wolf says, where are you going? Say that in your best wolf voice. Where are you going? Ready? Where are you going? Okay, time out. Little Red Riding Hood already broke the first rule. Stay on the path. Look what happened. Yep, a wolf shows up. Now, her second rule was what? Don't talk to strangers. Is the wolf a stranger? Should Little Red Riding Hood talk to the wolf? No, no, no. But in the story, does she? Yes, she does. And do you know what she says? She says, I'm going to Grandma's house. Say it in your best little girl high voice. I'm going to Grandma's house. Well, now not only did she talk to strangers, but she told the wolf where she was going. And the wolf, he thinks, Grandma's house. He wants to eat Grandma and Little Red Riding Hood. So he doesn't walk. He doesn't skip. He runs, run in place as the wolf. All the way to Grandma's house. I don't know how he knows where it is, but he does. And he gets to Grandma's house, and there's a big window at Grandma's house, so he looks in the window. And he doesn't see anyone, so he decides to knock on the door. Can you make a knocking sound with your tongue? And Grandma, remember she's sick? That's why Little Red Riding Hood's coming to visit her. So she's in bed, and she says in a very weak, sick voice, she says, who is it? Who is it? Let's try that again. You're real sick and weak, even weaker. Who is it? Oh, that sounded really sick and weak. And say, it's me, Little Red Riding Hood, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. It's me, Little Red Riding Hood. Well, Does Grandma think it's Little Red Riding Hood? The wolf disguised his voice to sound like Little Red Riding Hood. How would the wolf sound if he used his real voice? He said, "It's me, Little Red Riding Hood," but he said it like his real voice, a wolf voice. How would that sound on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. "It's me, Little Red Riding Hood." Would Grandma believe that was Little Red Riding Hood if he used his real voice? No. That's why he tried to sound like Little Red Riding Hood, and he used his high little girly voice to say, "It's me, Little Red Riding Hood." Let's try it again. You're the wolf and you're disguising your voice to sound like Little Red Riding Hood. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. "It's me, Little Red." Uh-oh, starting to sound like the wolf again. Wolf, get it together. Sound like Little Red. "Little Red Riding Hood." Oh, well, Grandma, she believes that it's Little Red Riding Hood. Why wouldn't she? She doesn't know it's a wolf trying to trick her. So Grandma gets out of bed and opens the door, and the wolf sees Grandma, and he decides to eat Grandma in one gulp. Ready? Ooh. Woo! That wolf ate Grandma. Poor Grandma. Don't worry, she comes back at the end. Well, now the wolf wants to pretend to be Grandma so he can eat Little Red Riding Hood. So the wolf goes into Grandma's bedroom, opens a drawer and finds Grandma's nightgown and puts it on. Pretend to put it on. Maybe it has some buttons or a zipper. Zip. And Grandma has a sleep cap. He puts that on, stuffs his fur in it best he can, but his ears are still sticking out from under the cap. And he crawls into Grandma's bed just in time for Little Red Riding Hood to knock on the door. So now you're Little Red Riding Hood, knock on the door. And Little Red Riding Hood says, "It's me, Little Red Riding Hood," just like the wolf did. Let's say that again. "It's me, Little Red Riding Hood." And the wolf says, trying to disguise his voice, he says, "Come in, dearie." Now, if he said it like a wolf, how would he sound? "Come in, dearie." You try it. "Come in, dearie." Would Little Red Riding Hood want to come in if she heard Grandma sounding like that? I don't think so. Not if she was smart. So what does the wolf have to do? Yeah, disguise his voice. So he says, "Come in, dearie," but he tries to sound like Grandma. Let's try it on the count of 3. "Come in, dearie," and sound like a grandma. 1, 2, 3. "Come in, dearie." Ooh, that did sound like Grandma. So what does Little Red Riding Hood do? She comes in. She shows the lunch to Grandma, who's really the wolf. But Grandma doesn't look quite right. Grandma looks different. And Little Red Riding Hood, remember our line from our warm-up, says, "Grandma, what big eyes you have." 1, 2, 3. "Grandma, what big eyes you have." Then Grandma looks at the ears, remember, that wouldn't go under the hat, and says, "Grandma, what big ears you have." 1, 2, 3. "Grandma, what big ears you have." And Grandma has great big teeth. What does Little Red Riding Hood say on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. "Grandma, what big teeth you have." Well, the wolf wastes no time and he gulps Little Red Riding Hood in one gulp, just like he did to Grandma. Ready? Gulp. He just ate Little Red Riding Hood and Grandma there in his tummy. And as Little Red Riding Hood is about to be eaten, she screams. So let's not do a loud scream. We might scare everyone in the whole school if we do a loud scream. We're going to do what's called a silent scream. So when we do a silent scream, no voice comes out, no noise comes out, but it looks like you're screaming and you use all your emotion and energy to make it look like you're screaming. It's kind of like this. Okay, so let's do it together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Silent scream. But it was too late. She already got gulped up. So lucky for Little Red Riding Hood, the, sorry, I lost my place. Oh, the woodcutter was coming down the street, and he heard that scream, because it really wasn't a silent scream. It really was a real scream, and he heard that scream, and so he heads right into Grandma's house. He knew Grandma lived there, and he sees the wolf there. He knew what happened. He's a smart woodcutter. So he takes the wolf up, picks the wolf up by both of his legs, turns him upside down, and boom, boom, out pop Little Red Riding Hood and Grandma, and the wolf runs away, and we never see him again. The end. So that's the end of our story of Little Red Riding Hood. Now, I just wanted to let you know that as with all fairy tales, there's different versions. So you might have heard this story slightly different, but if you read other books or watch other movies, there are other versions of it. And I have another one to show you. So if you stay here, then you can watch the second storytelling of Little Red Riding Hood. But that's all for me for this week. Bye. Oh, take out your drama ice. Bye. See you next time.